I am encouraged by the thousands and tens of thousands of great scientists and political people out there that are trying to work for the public good. It's just challenging because the structures that are in place are very difficult to kind of make those changes. The city of Lancaster was fortunate to have you there and be as persuasive as you are to get them to start making those first steps. And then once they made those first steps, they probably trusted to take the next step and the next step.
If they're not making mistakes, I get rid of them. You know, seriously. In every other city, you want to be safe? Do nothing. Mm-hmm. You know, want to get reelected? Do nothing.
Right.
You know? It's doing things that get you in trouble, that create risk. First couple years was just getting rid of the people unwilling to take risk. You know? But that means you don't punish them when if there's a mistake. You look at, did they make the right decision at that time? That's what you look at. And if they didn't, then it's an education process. It's not a punishment issue. You know?
Right.
What I do, I really am uncomfortable with the great leader idea, and you know, it doesn't fit when I hear it, right? Because I didn't do any of this. All I did was come up with an idea and give it to a staff that is incredibly courageous. And I kept out the people who are the naysayers, those toxic people that have nothing good to say about anything. And I did it very deliberately. If it's a city event, they're not invited. Well, there's a no-fly, literally, I'm not just saying this. There is a no-fly list. These people cannot be invited. If you want the mayor to come to your event, they better not be there. That list was about 40 people. It's now down to about 2 or 3. They fixed their behavior. You know, it was the system that was causing that behavior because they were getting rewarded for it. As soon as you took those rewards away, they got on board. You know, I don't care if you agree or disagree with me. They're totally irrelevant to me. What's relevant to me is, are you standing in the way of people who are having great ideas? You know, and you have nothing to offer. You know, when young people, I'm trying to get them into politics, you know, and into leadership and getting them trained up to do it. They'll come to me and they want to run for office, and I'll go, why? And they'll tell me why they are going to benefit from all this. No. You know, tell me what you want to do for the city. You know, yeah. Tell me what you want to see that you think is realistic that you can accomplish. You know, if you can't tell me that, no, I'm not investing in you. You know, right. The very, very few people wanting to go into leadership want to do it for the community. They just want to do it so they can get to Sacramento. You know?
If it's an ego play, that's the wrong reason. The right reason is to serve, and unfortunately, you see a lot of politicians out there that are not in the service mode, because if they were, they wouldn't be as concerned about their political career, because you have to be willing to put yourself in a position where you could lose in order to really do a good job. Because if you don't, then you're not really doing it.
Every day. I mean, the people that are in government, that, you know, are friends, they can't believe what I get away with, what I say. But the reason they don't throw me out is they know I believe it. I'm not pulling anybody's chain. You know, I tell people, and I believe this, you know, the definition of love is caring about your well-being, caring about somebody else's well-being. That's the definition of love. My last speech to the city ended with, thank you for letting me love you. Look at the joy you get. You know, that's where the reward of leadership should be. It is you couldn't buy it. The joy I get from this is so much greater than the heartache. You know, I mean, there are times I'm in danger. You know, I mean, cops are parked out in front of the house. You know, it's worth it. it's worth it. You know, our next big thing is I wanted to, you know, I got really into the medicine of all of it because of COVID. You know, we had fewer deaths than almost any city in the county. We should have had the most because of our vulnerable population. You know, we had almost the least, but it got me really interested. And so I had these doctors that were deputy mayors, and you know, we had this whole infrastructure built around COVID. I said, lower the mortality. I want to lower the mortality for the people of Lancaster. They've just come back with a report. You know how you do it?
Do tell.
3rd grade. If their reading level is commensurate with the 3rd grade when they're in the 3rd grade, if they've had preschool, those people have much longer lifespans. Isn't that interesting?
That is.
You know, there's a book called Upstream. Everybody who wants to lead should read it. You know, rescuing the child who's drowning in the river is all well and good, but go find out who's throwing them in the river.
Yeah.
You know? I was surprised we had to go so far upstream to have a really significant impact. But I'm encouraged by the fact that we can have a significant impact. You know, we just have to be willing to have a long-term investment. But there are children today that are now, when I got elected the first time, who are now voting for me, who were in preschool. You know?
Right.
It goes by like that.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's amazing the amount of progress that's been made here in Lancaster. I am a fan of your success. I would love to see it spread more widely, because it's the kind of leadership that I think America needs, that the world needs. And so I think that you make a good template for leaders and communities. And I think that communities would be well served to look at it, that it is holistic, that it isn't just the Rex show, it's the entire community has rallied around the type of things that you're throwing out there to them, and they've seen the benefits of it. And they've probably vetted it and said, hey, Rex, are you sure that we're going to make money on this? And are you sure? And through the healthy interchange of ideas, you probably came up with even better ideas, because some people said, hey.
Wait a minute, none of these ideas are my ideas. I read about them. Somebody told me about them at some event.
Yeah.
I didn't graduate from high school. All of my ideas I got from someplace else.
Neither did I. I don't have a high school diploma either, so neither of us are high school graduates.
I bet there's not 10 lawyers can say that. And we're 2 of them sitting at the same table.
Yeah. It's been a great pleasure to have you on the program again, and I think we've come to our time we've allotted, and maybe even a little bit more, but it certainly went by fast, and I greatly appreciate you giving us the time. And and I ask everybody who listens in on this to go back, maybe listen to a couple of the other podcasts that Rex and I have done over the years. I think a lot of great material has been covered. You can check it out on Apple or Spotify or our own website at climatechange.com. I invite you to go tune in to Rex's his website at Lancaster, or his law firm, the Paris Law Firm up here in Lancaster, that does incredible work across the state. I'm always, very, I was going to say proud of the work that you do. It's not my work, but I feel like as a fellow plaintiff's attorney, I like to emulate a lot of the stuff that you do, because I think you do it with heart and with great skill, and I think that that's what we should be doing as plaintiff's attorneys, helping people that are in difficult situations, and I've seen you do that time and time again, fighting the good fight, and that's it inspires me to reach for the next level myself. So for that, I'm very grateful to have you as a mentor, and look forward to continuing this conversation and bringing other people into this conversation, because it's a conversation we need to have desperately as a country, as a state, and you've been a hero to me.
Thank you. Just remember, the last time there was this much carbon in the atmosphere, there were alligators in the North Pole. Well, actually, northern Canada, but
Close enough, close
Right.
enough. So yeah, we need to get with the program, and I invite everybody to be the change you want to see in the world. And I think you're a great example of that, is that you get up every day trying to be that change and being that change, not trying to, but actually being that change. And that's something that I aspire to every day, and I ask all of our listeners and viewers to take that same mindset.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hope we get to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.